It's morning, my dudes. Time to get started on the Volvo. Last time we did the bracket. Today we're gonna weld it in. Hopefully get the motor mounts figured out too. And let's get started. So first and foremost, I need to grind down this area right here, the bare metal, so I can get a good weld on it and be able to weld our new transmission mount all together. Go ahead and take care of that right now. There we go. That should do nicely for our weld. Alright, so it might take a minute to be ready for welding. So in the meantime, I'm going to go to Ace, get those shims for the motor mounts that we need. And I'll be back in just a minute. Back from Ace, I've got myself a spacer. I'm going to do a throw it on the motor mounts, make sure those all fit. You see behind me, you got the motor propped up. I think I've got it right where I want it to sit. I moved it forward a little bit so I have a little more space behind the firewall for grounding wires and stuff. But I don't know, moving it forward like that might have messed up my transmission mount, so I might move it back when I'm done messing with the mounts. Okay. Thank you. Never mind, that's a 17. Sorry.
Okay.
Alright. So those spacers worked exactly the way I wanted them to. Everything's now kind of mocked up and in. What I gotta do now is I gotta pull out the motor mount, mostly paint it so I can still weld the end. But so I don't have to pull it out once I've welded in, paint it. But right now it's just that bare metal and it's going to rust pretty quickly without paint. Alright, so just did a coat of paint on the motor mount. That'll dry in a minute or two here. But until that's done, not really much else to do. So I guess I can move on to things that aren't important, like pulling that driver's seat out. 12 millimeter.
Socket?
Yeah, preferably a socket.
Ground it. That makes more sense to me.
Okay.
What was that? What was happening?
Probably just wedged on something. Hey, a quarter. All right, driver's seat out. If you know someone needs a Volvo seat for the driver's side, okay condition, pretty comfortable, 50 bucks. Hey, seat's out. Let's do another coat of paint on this motor mount. Alright, next step. Let me carry you over here so you can see. There we go. Next step. So you gotta grind out these frame rails, grind the paint off them so you can get a good weld. I'm gonna stand over here. This is much better. Boom. There we go. Okay, so okay, so motor mounts are in. No. Damn it. Rails are grinded. Motor mount needs to go in. I'm gonna put everything back together and weld it. That's it. Third time's a charm.
You reach up and grab it.
Okay. Never mind. Lift it back up.
Put on the air ratchet.
Alright, it's in. It's sitting pretty much where I want it. Just gonna go ahead, go around, tighten down all the bolts, break out the welder. Alright. So my worst fears are pretty much confirmed. The transmission bracket I built last episode is too short with the new engine positioning. So I'm going to build a second bracket, make it maybe 2 inches longer, drill the holes hopefully correctly this first time, and then throw that one in the car. Alright, there's been a little bit of a delay. We're gonna weld it later. When later? Don't know. But Mounts are in, pretty much exactly how I want them. It's all ready to weld. I'm super stoked, but welding is going to take just a minute. I won't finish this episode without it. Okay. Built a new bracket, forgot to film it, but it's a couple hours later, as you can tell. It might be time to start welding. Maybe. Alright, it's officially dark out. We don't have time to wait anymore. We're just gonna weld it, see what happens.
Hey, Jennifer, did you cap off the gas line there before you started?
Yep.
Okay, good. We're good. Ready?
So that's a good angle for the camera?
Yeah.
Don't look!
Don't look!
Stop.
Oh, cool, let's look. Is that a good welder now?
Good in my book.
Alright.
Alright. Here, you can just shine it on me. There we go. Alright, welding is just about there. I'm almost afraid to show you guys because it's not very good welding. But it looks even worse on camera than it does in real life. Yeah, I'm not the best welder, but it holds. So, engine's in, moving on to transmission. Alright, transmission mount.
Is that good?
Yeah, that'll do.
Okay, I'm looking away.
Okay, ready?
Yep.
Ow.
You okay?
No, shine the flashlight on the side of the helmet. Yeah, that's fine. I got turned off. That's gonna hurt. Alright, so I've tacked the transmission mount. We'll go ahead and pull it out, kind of mold it to the figure of the cross member, and finish welding it in place. I don't have a lot of camera battery left, so we're gonna try and film sparingly. Alright, so here's my new cross member. As you can see, it's just a Volvo cross member with a plate of steel drilled out for the Chevy transmission bolts. You can kind of see the heat spots where I got a little bit hot welding it on their side. What I'm going to do now is come through on this side, weld it down to the cross member, and that should be my cross member. I say cross member a lot. cross member's all welded up. I'm gonna go ahead and call it a night there. That cross member is really freaking hot, so I'm not gonna install it tonight. So that's the video. Thank you guys for watching. Go ahead and like and subscribe, and get ready for some real progress coming real soon. Have a good night.